What's up? This is Reese coming at you from Maplecrest. And Natalie just did her rendition of the paintwork that's going on. We got a couple of things cooking this week. Three things actually. One is they're finishing up the hardwood floors, which is really sweet because we're restoring and retaining a lot of the old stuff that was already in here and then threading it in where we can. A lot of old maple on the first floor, and then we've got some really cool 1 inch but super thin oak on the second floor, and the flooring company is threading them all back together where we can. And then we're going to bring in some new stuff, some 4 inch plank on Thursday, let it sit over the weekend, then we're going to start kicking all the new the hardwood come Monday, so that'll be really sweet. We've also got some electrical work happening. They're actually going to start setting lights tomorrow or the next day, and in the meantime they're actually digging a huge trench out back because we're doing a new service to the house from a pole that's about 70 feet off the back of the house. So that's really cool. So we've got this great big moat, I guess, dug in our backyard, and we're gonna if Jess gets lippy or something like that, we'll probably just put him in there, let him sit, and see if he can figure out how to get it out of there, which would be a nice challenge. So anyway, what we're doing right now is we're going to talk a little bit about this paint. So my lovely wife and esteemed designer has been thinking about this for probably since she was a little child, and she's gotten her dream. She's a big domino fan. Don't know what that is. Home decor, I don't know what that is either. All I know is that we always buy it off the rack because it would be foolish to get a subscription when we can pay the same price for a subscription as we do for a magazine, so we don't do that. All right, but what I'm going to show you is like my in my mind where urban shabby chic meets a little bit of the Wild Wild West meets 50 Shades of Grey, a novel that my sister's reading while she's on bed rest because she's recovering from back surgery. Love you, Libby. And let's have a walkthrough. So right now in this room, there's not a lot on the walls yet, but what you see is a sweet ceiling, which is a gray that has a really nice navy tint, and we did it in a high gloss. And then she's going to do a fancy shade of gray on the wall, which will have some other type of undertone. And then she's going to do some wicked trim work, which will tie it all in. And she sees it in her head, which is really great because I have not that skill. Anyway, moving into here, we did a little a derivative of the foyer in the dining room, and we did a little bit lighter gray on the top. Still, a nice sheen to it. We did a semi-gloss in here using Benjamin Moore paints, and then we did the wall in another tone of gray. She's going to do some wicked light fixtures throughout that she says are killer and can't wait to show me. So I'm really excited about that. And in here, this is our main living area, kitchen and great room essentially. And we actually took one of the Benjamin Moore colors, Calm, which is essentially a lighter color like white, because that's what it is up on the ceiling too, and we actually mixed it with the ceiling paint from in here because we decided, you know what, Calm's a little too calm, a little too white when you got jelly fingers walking around at about 3 feet high. They're probably going to get a lot of jelly on that Calm, and I won't be calm, so we wanted to fix that. Anyway, a little peek out the window, you can see some trench, and like I said, it's a serpentine all the way around. And the reason why we had to trench so wide is because the city of Anchorage is so awesome. They have an arborist on staff, and they do not mess around with their trees. So if you want to dig anywhere near a root system, you basically have to get a permit to do that, and then they'll deny you because you got a permit because you're digging too close to the trees. They're trying to preserve these trees, and so that's why we dug so far out into the yard, and I know we'll be thankful for that, even though it probably costs a couple extra $100 to get it done. But they've dug from the back pole, you can see way back there, and they're running an underground 400 amp service into the house, and it's going to replace our overhead service, which is great because we've got a lot of trees out here, and there's some potential damage that could be done if we had a tree fall or something like that. So we're going to be taking care of that, which is good. If we move back into the back room, we actually shift a little in terms of the color palette, and we actually have a little bit of a I won't call it tan, I'll call it AC 81, which is the code, because we actually used porter paint in this back hallway and in the bathroom. And then we did another nice tint of gray, light gray shade called something really sweet, I'm sure, in the laundry area. Whoa! And you say, whoa, And you say, what's that room? That looks very different from the color palette that she suggested everywhere else. And I said, that's right, because this is where all our friends and family are going to say, right? And we want to keep you happy, and green is a nice tint. And it keeps everyone like really in a good peace of mind when you're visiting us, so that if we have chaos going on, like little kids running around with jelly, putting their fingers all over calm that's been derived into some form of gray, you won't actually get worked up. You'll just come back in this room and you'll be totally zen. So it looks really nice. It matches nice to the outside, because especially in the spring and summer months when it's green. And then pow, our guest bathroom on the first floor, which is just a half bath. But hopefully you get to enjoy if you come out for a dinner party or a little celebration, or just come out to say hi, coffee, whatever. We'd love to have you. And that's all for the first floor. It's actually as far as they've gotten so far. And they're going to be kicking in the rest of the walls tomorrow. You can see there's some white spots in certain places on the ceiling. They're actually patching the drywall as they go, which is great. And something you definitely want to do if you're painting, especially a high sheen. Not a lot of people, there are some drywallers, not a lot of them can actually do a flat roof. So instead, a lot of them, they blow on their roofs or on their ceilings and things like that, the little textured ceilings and things like that. And that's really intended to hide a lot of the irregularities in the drywalling. And our guy did pretty well, because we don't see any of that stuff. And he's got a high sheen on there, which is really risky. But he's tightening up all the drywalling as he's going through it, painting it, and keeping it really clean. And in the end, it's going to look really great once we get to the final package. So anyway, love to have you. Thanks for listening in. We'll combine this with Natalie's video, and we'll do a rate off, like a hot or not competition. I'm sure she'll win, but I'll give it my best shot. All right. Love you. Come visit us at Maplecrest, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye. Cheese.